My name's Darryl Verville, and I've been in the Kootenays for 30 years. So there's a real need for sustainable communities to come about, and they are. They're coming about all over the world. There's the Ecovillage network, which is on all the continents of the world, and it's a growing phenomena, and it's growing out of an actual need. And they say that necessity is the mother of invention. I even think necessity is the mother of creation. Things get created out of that necessity, and so, I think that we're part of a tide. We're part of a wave. We're part of a historical evolution for humanity right now. And a lot of people are waking up to that. Madrone and Emma and I got onto this piece of land that we're sitting on right now. And you can just see when you look around here, we're in the Kootenays. The Kootenays is one of the most beautiful places in Canada. And this is one of the most beautiful places in the Kootenays. So we're on the jewel of the jewel. We can't really imagine. I can't imagine anything getting more beautiful than this. This is like heaven on earth. It's the paradise. There is such a huge opportunity here, and I know when Madrone brought me on this land, he knew the opportunity. He saw it, and I saw it. What we're envisioning here on this piece of land, and we're sitting on approximately 190 acres along the beautiful Slocan River, and adjacent to the river is some islands that constitute about another 190 acres. So we're sitting on a really magnificent piece of land that lends itself to the idea of a village. And the idea of the eco-village is a culture that nurtures everyone. And what we recognize is that we'd like to have all the age groups represented. So we see the youngers and the young families coming up, middle-aged people, and then the seniors. So we're planning on having a seniors home here to house any number of seniors, maybe up to 10 or 12 seniors, where they will be able to interact with younger people of the community. They'll have access to not only the children and the people living in the community, but also everything that's going to be grown here. A beautiful opportunity for those seniors to interact with all those elements in an environment that nurture everyone. And so they're being honored in the fact that they're the seniors, they're the elders, they have the wisdom, they've lived life, and they bring something that no one else can bring. When you look around, you're seeing a lot of wilderness. You're seeing a lot of wilderness, yet we're close to centers, We're close to Nelson, Winlaw, Castlegar, New Denver, Silverton, Slocan City. They're all within distance easily to get to. The lake is only a 10-minute drive. The beautiful Slocan Lake. It's absolutely world-class beauty. People who understand the moment in history that we're in, that understand what's happening on the planet, that understand what's happening to the environment, and who are motivated, who are inspired, who have enthusiasm about living in a way that treats nature and this life and this creation with respect. In the Intentional Communities Network, over 50% of the communities fail. And they fail because of human conflict. And of course, I've looked at that a lot. I've lived on the Mulvey Creek Land Co-op for 12 years. Because there's always going to be, there's conflict in the human psyche. We're not going to just get rid of that. We're that way. And, but with good agreements and enough privacy for each of the individuals, there's a nice balance between the privacy and the community life. You can strike a balance there. And in fact, you can live in a very beautiful way.
My name is Madrone, and I've been a farmer for, in varying degrees for over 15 years now, always with a focus on sustainability, grass-based farming. And I myself am primarily a livestock farmer. I've raised and bred just about every type of livestock there is. And I've kind of honed it down to 4 key species that I work well with now, being cattle and sheep for fleece, milk, and meat, and horses. I train horses and dogs, breed and train as a kind of a sideline business to promote an economy within the cooperative where I could go shopping here on the land and get just about everything I need,
That would fall into a permaculture design, what they're calling permaculture, right?
Yeah, an overall design for the land that has everyone's best interests at heart and everyone's sovereignty at heart, and ultimately what's best for the land at heart. And years ago I started a little festival on White Crow Farm that we called The Field in August, and actually we have one in the spring called Raise the Hoof, which was our first fundraiser. And those have kind of snowballed into some really happening little events. I mean, we can only fit 500 people up there. I mean, there's music in nature, why not in farming? Like, it's totally perfect to bring the two together. And it's also a great source of revenue. I mean, we could have a festival here on this land with 2,000 people comfortably. I really think we could get this land producing to the point where we could feed everyone that comes to that festival too. As part of the experience to come and play music and or watch shows, music of all kinds, and eat the food from the land. Well, I'm really excited about what's come up so far in the visioning for this land. A lot of stuff that I wouldn't necessarily have thought of myself. But I'm really excited to be a part of, the senior center and, welcoming young families and their children, just to have every age group here present. The children to inspire spontaneity and playfulness in all of us, and the seniors to pass on their wisdom and to share in all that's done here and be inspired. I mean, it's going to add an element to it that would make an otherwise somewhat isolating lifestyle really vibrant. I think the effect that those animals will have on the land will really set the stage for all the other things that can happen here, just to get that regenerative process in the soil happening for orchards and market gardens and berries and poultry and any number of things. I mean, you could really farm anything here. You could even have a distillery making fine liquor. And just to invite that energy back onto the land too, of art and music, not just for the festival but in everyday life. And a commercial kitchen as well, and people who are passionate about canning and preserving, and even a storefront, really, to sell all of the things that are produced here. Well, food security and food sovereignty are powerful issues that have really come to the forefront in this community in particular, for whatever reason. People are really becoming aware of that. I think what could be done on this land could be an example, not only for this area, but all over the world. I like to think very, very locally when it comes to the production and distribution of food, but globally when it comes to the connections and the examples we set for each other. And I think what we have here is the potential to showcase something, a model that could really work. Well, I'd really like to cultivate a workshop kind of learning environment here where people from the local community and from all over the world even can come and learn these skills, ride horses, equine therapy even, learn how to garden, learn about all the dynamic things that happen in sustainable farming. To not only be an example, but an actual sharing.